Hello everyone, I'm Muhammad Anis and you are watching me on my YouTube channel and my Facebook page Journalism Courses Online. Today we will take our first class and that will be of news gathering. Yes, most people don't know how newspapers and news websites and other media organizations get their news from. Okay, so there are four types of news. Yes, the basic four types of news, and the basic element of a news, the basic medium of a news, and the basic medium that can teach how news is made, be it in the broadcast media or on the website, is the newspaper. Yes, newspaper is the first and the foremost example of how we gather news and how we should publish it. Yes, newspapers are still the prime examples because uh, the newspaper staff mostly they know that they cannot edit their stories after they publish it. They cannot put a they cannot write anything on the newspaper without verifying it, because once it is published it cannot be changed. So the newspapers are still the prime examples of a news medium. So basically a newspaper has four types of news. The first type is the prime type. Yes, the most authentic type of stories, the best stories, the original stories that a newspaper produces. The first type is of investigative journalism. Yeah, investigative journalism is a different category altogether. Investigative journalism is a top form of journalism where a journalist goes out, gets documents, gets evidence, gets witnesses, and records their statements, and then prepares a story which is seldom refuted. Yes, most stories that investigative journalists do even stand the test of trial. Yes, even stand the test of courts. Now, the second type of story is is the one which a reporter takes a byline over some data he collected from a government source or private source. Yeah. It is, for example, we have the story about the IMF program on Dawn's front page. It says that government is bound to hike gas prices, fuel GST under IMF deal. Now this report quotes the IMF released a detailed 112-page country report on Friday on the completion of the 7th and 8th reviews of the extended funded facility, under which Pakistan also committed to ensure electronically filed text and asset details of grade 17 to 22 officers. Now this report actually quotes that the reporter has taken it from the IMF report, but he still takes the byline. As you can see here, at the Khalikiani, the Dawn's reporter has taken byline on the story. This is because the data, or the 112 page report released by the IMF, would be so extensive, would be so confusing, that he had to actually sit and make it easier for the reader to understand. The basic thing that a journalist learns even when he studies it, or if he just goes out and starts off as a reporter, the basic thing that he learns is that every story you come across should be made easier and easier to understand for the target audience. Yes, a newspaper should not make news boring or difficult to understand. You should write news in the easiest manner and make it interesting for the target audience to read. So this is the second type of story. Okay, and the third type of a story is the desk story. Desk story. What is a desk story? A newspaper gets its news from reporters. A lot of reporters, crime reporters, who get their news from the government or the police.